Hi everyone, it's Karam here, and today I'm going to be talking about a book that I recently finished, and it's 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. So before I start talking about the book, I just wanna insert a little disclaimer about spoilers. Personally, I like to go into books or shows or movies with as little info as possible, because I want to be surprised and with everything, with the writing style, with how the chapters are laid out, with the character names, with everything that there is in the book. And I even barely read the synopsis on the back cover of the books, because sometimes they spoil stuff. I also like to build my own opinion and my own interpretation first, before I look online for ratings and that kind of stuff. Pretty much the only things that I look at before reading a book are the genre, just to know if I'm in the mood for this kind of genre at the moment. And sometimes I look at the rating on IMDb, on Goodreads or IMDb, because if a book is rated like 1 or 2 stars from 2,000 people, then there must be a reason for that. And once I've finished reading the book, I will go to YouTube and Reddit or any kind of forum to kind of see what other people thought of the book, what their interpretation was, and maybe discuss with other people. So with that in mind, I'm gonna keep this video as spoiler free as possible. And if you feel like you want me to discuss this book in further detail with more spoilers, if you've already read it and you want to see what I think about that, just leave me a comment below, and maybe I'll create if there's enough people who want that, I'll create a video discussing the book in further detail. So today I'm going to be talking about a book, or books, should I say. It's 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami, and as you can see, it's quite a chunky book. They even divided it into 2 or 3 books depending on the country that you buy it from. With that out of the way, let's talk about what this book is about. So the story is set in Tokyo 1984, and it's about 2 protagonists who slowly but surely diverge into each other. The first protagonist is called Aomame, which means green peas in Japanese, like edamame, the soybeans. And she is 29 years old. She's a very capable gym instructor and a masseuse of some kind. And she also has a mysterious side hustle that I'm not gonna tell you what it is, because I don't want to spoil it. And she also has a lot of childhood trauma and a lot of issues that she's dealing with. Tengo, on the other hand, is a 29-year-old cram school math teacher. And if you didn't know what a cram school is, because I certainly didn't, it's a special kind of school in Japan where they prepare students to pass the high school and university exams by cramming as much info as they can. And besides being a math teacher, he is also an aspiring novelist with a lot of, you guessed it, a lot of childhood trauma, which makes for some juicy bits of drama in this long novel. Okay, so I'm gonna try something new, and I want to give you guys an excerpt from the first chapter or 2. It's gonna be the first 2 chapters in this book's case, because each chapter talks about 1 protagonist, and I want to just give you an idea of how Murakami introduced the protagonists. Maybe it will pique your interest for the book. And if you don't like it, just let me know in the comments below, and I won't do it in future reviews. So the novel starts with Aomame sitting in a high-end Toyota cab, and the cab is stuck in an immovable traffic on expressway number 3. The driver is a middle-aged man, and there's some music playing in the background. And Aomame tries to remember or dig her memory to see if she knows what that song is. And suddenly she realizes that she knows exactly what that song is, and it's called Sinfonietta by Janacek. She feels a bit surprised, like, why is she remembering this specific symphony? It's not even one of her favorites or anything. She doesn't even listen to it that regularly. But she remembered it, and she starts going down this road of like reminiscing about her past, about the songs that she's heard before, about the year that the song was produced in, which I believe was 1923. And then she remembers her grandpa who gave her the name Aomame, and she remembers being bullied at school because her name is kind of funny and uncommon in Japan. So after losing herself in thought for a while, she realizes that the traffic jam is not going anywhere. And she asks the cab driver to let her off so she can go down the emergency staircase. The driver tells her that if she goes down that way, some things are going to change about this world. But she doesn't really understand what he's trying to say. And she gets off anyway. She goes through the emergency exit. And that's how we're introduced to Aomame. The second chapter starts off with Tengo remembering a very vivid memory from his infancy of his mom. I'm not going to say what the memory is to not spoil it, but it's something that a 1-year-old shouldn't see. And so he feels that his mouth is getting dry and his hands are getting sweaty, and suddenly he hears this voice. Someone is calling him from far away. It's like a muffled voice. And he comes back to reality, and he realizes that he's sitting in a cafe with a guy called Komatsu. And this Komatsu guy, he offers Tengo to become a ghostwriter for a novel written by a 17-year-old author, and she's called Fukaeri. Yeah, that's how the second chapter ends, and how we're introduced to Tengo. There was a lot of paragraphs in this book that really resonated with me, and I really liked them. But I'm gonna read one of them for you guys, and hope you like it. Aomame took another slow scan of the room. It's like a model apartment, she thought. Clean and uniform, with every need supplied, but distant and devoid of individuality. Papier-mâché. It wouldn't be very pleasant to die in a place like this. But even if you change the backdrop to something more desirable, is there really a pleasant way to die in this world? And come to think of it, isn't this world we live in like a gigantic model room? We come in, sit down, have a cup of tea, gaze out the window at the scenery, and when the time comes we say thank you and leave. All the furniture is fake. Even the moon hanging in the window may be made of paper. In conclusion, I really enjoyed this book, even though it was a long read, but I finished it way faster than I anticipated. Even though I'm a slow reader, I finished it in around 3 weeks, and it's around 1200 pages. I've heard that some reviewers said that this book is too long, and Murakami could have made it shorter. I think maybe he could have made it shorter. The third book did feel at the start a bit of a slog, only because the second book ended in a cliffhanger, and then the pace of the book really slowed down in the third. But this is one of the reasons why I really like reading Murakami. It's because he takes his time explaining and describing everything that's happening, everything in the room, everything that the protagonist is eating and how they cook, and he gives you an insight into their brain, how they're thinking and their stream of consciousness. I also enjoy how he describes mundane things, like he would spend like few pages just like describing the Tengo cooking something, or Aomame massaging someone, or just listening to music. He would describe every part of the listening experience, from choosing a vinyl record to pulling it out to putting it on the LP player. These kind of things are the stuff that I appreciate about Murakami's style, and I think that they help me be immersed in the world that Murakami has created for us to read. But in the end, I think that the book is definitely worth the read if you're into Murakami already. It might not be a good introduction to Murakami. There's other shorter books that you can read and enjoy, like Kafka on the Shore or Norwegian Wood. But I definitely liked it, and I liked experiencing 1Q84 or the world of 1Q84, and living through the struggles of both protagonists and how they overcame them to a degree. And the book deals with not coming of age as a young adult, but becoming an adult. How do you leave behind your past and your childhood traumas and stuff like that? And it deals also with religion and God, and what kind of God should you believe in if you believe in one. So I think for me, the rating of the book would be 4 stars, if that makes sense. I didn't give it 5 stars just because the third book felt like a bit of like it was too slow compared to the first 2 books. Before I end this video, I just want to share with you guys one word that I learned in this book, and it's taciturn or taciturn. I don't know how you pronounce it, but yeah, I think I'm gonna share just one word of every book that I review, just because English is not my first language and because I'm learning new words in almost every book that I read. If you watched this far through the video, thank you for persevering through my rambling. And if you enjoyed the video and liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you want to watch more book reviews by me, then hit the subscribe button. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.